Hey guys, it's Kyle Thompson here with eXp Realty, bringing you another weekly market update. And this week we're going to be focusing on detached homes. Let's dive right in. Okay, starting off big picture. Last month we had 124 new listings, 50 new sales. The average list price was $823,692. The average sale price was $797,486. The average sale price to list ratio was 96.91. We had an average days on market of 46.52, and we ended the month with an inventory of 269. Now let's jump over and see what that does for the market conditions. As always, I like to use both the monthly supply of inventory method as well as the sales to new list ratio, as I find using both measurements gives a more complete picture of what's going on in the market. With that said, using the monthly supply of inventory method, we come in at 3.35, which puts us into a seller's market. If we use the sales to new list ratio instead, we see that we come in at 40%, which is right on the cusp of a neutral and buyer's market. Now let's take a look at the active inventory last month. So far this year, we've had 2 months with a big spike of new listings. However, we did fall month over month from 134 in January down to 124 in February. New sales, on the other hand, have been relatively flat over the last 3 months, rising from 48 in January up to 50 in February. Expired listings are actually at a 12-month low, coming in at 17 last month, falling from 27 in January. And the benchmark price for a home in Kamloops rose $17,700 from $635,000 up to $652,700, and this is the largest month-over-month change in the last 12 months. Now, let's jump over and take a look at the end of month inventory. So we ended the month with an inventory of 269, which is within 1% of the 10-year average of 270 for February. If we take a look at new listings instead, so far year to date, there's been 259 new listings, which is about 6% above the 10-year average year to date of 245. Now, if we take a look at units sold instead, we see that so far year to date, we've had 97 units sold, which is the lowest in the last 10 years so far. And we come in about 29% below the 10-year average of 138. Now, we'll jump over and take a look at the sales dashboard, starting off with average sale price. This table is measuring year-over-year changes, so a full year over a full year. And when looked at that way, the average sale price is up 2.19%, rising from 764,277 up to pretty well 781,000. The areas that have had the highest increases this year with a decent amount of sales volume have been Sunrivers and Dufferin, which have risen 13.47 and 17.11% respectively. Now let's take a look at the sale to list price ratio. All this is a measurement of how much properties are selling below the list price on average. So it's a good proxy for how much negotiating room you have when you are the buyer. Last month, we came in at 96.91, which is pretty well the middle of the road, but we did rise about 0.4% month over month, meaning that there is slightly less negotiating room when you are the buyer. Now let's take a look at sales by sub area. Once again, this table is full year over a full year. And when looked at that way, sales are essentially flat. We rose 0.63% from 958 up to 964. The areas that have been hit the hardest in terms of sales have been South Kamloops, West Side, Pineview, and Dufferin, which are all and Cherry Creek, which are all down at least 20% when measured year over year. Now let's take a look at how long it's taking properties to sell, starting off with the 10-year. So far, year to date, it's taken an average of 52 days for single-family dwellings to sell, which is within 2% of the 10-year average of 53. If we look at the trailing 12 months instead, we see that last month we had another big drop down. After spiking in December at 75, we've fallen all the way down to 47, and we fell from 58 down to 47 month over month, and that puts us within 4% of the trailing 12-month average of 49. Finally, let's take a look at days on market by sub area. This is, again, full year over a full year. And when looked at that way, average days on market is essentially flat. We're within 2% of the prior year. And currently, the fastest selling areas of town are Westmont, Sahalee, and Dufferin, all with an average days on market of less than 40 days, whereas the areas taking the longest to sell are Paul Lake, Sun Peaks, and Red Lake, with an average days on market ranging between 94 all the way up to 158. That's all we have for today. I hope that you guys are continuing to get value out of these market updates. If you are, please consider liking and subscribing to my YouTube channel. And as always, if you would like something added to these market updates, or maybe something needs to be more thoroughly explained, please feel free to leave your comments in the comment section below, or reach out to me directly, and I will do what I can. I appreciate you taking the time, and I'll catch you on the next one. Thanks for watching.